Hey there, team. How's it going? This is Jake, community developer at Oracle, and thanks a million for joining me today on our first Tuesday cost saving tips. And I just wanted to kick it off with something that's sometimes in some organizations a little bit of a low hanging fruit, but especially when you're going through your cost saving efforts, sometimes it's a really good first place to look to see if there's any fat that can be cut and just some general efficiencies that can be found. So without further ado, let's go over to Commissar. So I'm over here in Commissar in the storage tab. If we just scroll down, we're going to go down to the EBS section. So this is Elastic Block Storage, and we're just going to have a look at these two widgets. Really, we're going to be looking at the total amount of EBS volumes, and we're going to be looking at the amount of EBS volumes that are used, because of course we always want to be using the EBS volumes that are present in our account, which means that we have an EBS volume attached to an EC2 instance. And if an EC2 instance for any reason is deleted or fails and is gone, and it doesn't have a setting to delete the EBS volume along with the EC2 instance, it might still remain there after and persist after the EC2 instance is removed. So that's something that we want to be really, really careful for, because we're going to be charged for it. So if we go over to our EC2 volumes section under Elastic Block Store and volumes here in the EC2 section of AWS, we'll be able to see the list. In our case, we're just looking at 2 volumes, but we can see that they're both in use. This is what we're looking for. And if there's anything that's not in use, we're not going to see it as unattached. We're going to see it as available, which means that it's not attached, it's available to be attached. And we're definitely going to want to go through them, especially if you're at a big organization. You want to make sure that the ones that are not in use anymore, are they waiting for anything? What do they need to be there? And if they don't need to be there, take a snapshot of them and delete them. And you can do that by, of course, you would first have to, before deleting, you would have to unattach. So you would detach the volume and then you would proceed to deleting it. Of course, we would do this for cost saving purposes, but we would also do it for security purposes, right? Because imagine if we have an EC2 instance that has an EBS volume attached to it and it has some sensitive data, and that EC2 instance isn't used anymore, and maybe that data might still be sensitive, but we don't need it to be accessible to everyone in the organization. So we might want to get rid of it, keeping a snapshot. I do understand that snapshots and managing snapshots, especially if you're working with a lot of storage, a lot of EBS volumes, can be cumbersome. So I would definitely recommend following the AWS recommended guidelines here by automating EBS snapshot storage and management using data lifecycle. Yeah, just to keep it short, that's the recommendation for the week. Hope this was informative. See you next week. Bye.